Robert Spitz. I was in Iran in 1964-65. I was in a TEFL program, teaching English as a foreign language. Spent most of my time at Tehran University and a summer at Shiraz University.
I'm Krauskopf. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Iran. I was in the province of Khuzestan, the capital city of Ahvaz, from 1965 to 1967, and then again I went back and did some training in 1969. I've actually lived in several other Iranian cities as part of this training program. I taught English in the boys' junior high schools, and I ran a night school for 400 employees of the Ministry of Education for the province, after-school clubs and all sorts of things like that. And I've been doing a little writing of my Peace Corps experience, and the Peace Corps at 50 book just was published 3 days ago, and I have one story in there.
Hi, my name is Doug Shermer. I served in Iran in 1966 to 67. I worked in what's called the Idare Umran, which was a rural development office. We did bathhouses, schools, water supply systems, things like that. I was stationed in Semnan, Iran, which is on the Silk Road. We were adopted into a family in Semnan, and from that family we learned all kinds of things about Iranian culture, and we felt welcomed. One of the most amazing things is that we found some of our brothers. One of them made it to the United States and is just retired, and I'm in touch with him. And now I'm talking to the grandkids on Facebook. Above all, the Iranian people were amazingly friendly and still are. In 2002, my wife and I went on a trip organized by National Peace Corps Association to Iran. She wants to go back because she didn't get all the way through the bazaar in Isfahan. Fabulous country, fabulous people, and I'm hopeful that the day will come when things open up so it's much easier to travel there. You can travel now, but you have to stay with the group, and I want to go visit my family in Iran.
My name is Geraldine Giulio. I served in Iran from 1966 to 1968. I am from New Jersey, now from the city of Wayne, and I worked in Ahvaz, which is in the south of Iran, Khuzestan province. I worked in Kermanshah and Mahabad, which are smaller towns and cities in the north. And I'm still in touch with people I work with and my family, what's left of them. An anecdote, I'm trying to think, let's see. Well, I guess the thing that struck me, not the oddest, but I guess I emotionally was hurt by it. I went out on a date with a Persian teacher, and after the date we came back to the family's house, and I invited him in, and we were watching TV with the family. After he left, I got yelled at, reamed out for bringing a stranger into the house. I said, but he's a teacher, you know, he's not some stranger. No, 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 we have girls in this family, you don't do that. So that was my clash of culture once in 2 years. So it wasn't that bad, and I said to him, I don't understand. I said, my family would want me to bring somebody home rather than go to his place. So, but they didn't buy that. So but they were wonderful to me. She was really like a second mother, and they really watched out for what I did and where I went. So I had a wonderful experience in Iran. I would never trade for anything. It was great.
Hi, I'm Andy Starkis. I was an Iran volunteer from 1966 to 1968 in a rural public works group. Iran's been in the news a lot lately, and there's an amazing amount of misunderstanding and misinformation about Iran, even among those folks who ought to know. For instance, during the Iran hostage rescue operation during the Carter administration, There was a report that when they landed at Desert One, they were shocked and surprised to see that there was a bus full of Iranians that came through in the middle of the night, and they had to stop the bus and detain all these people during the operation. And I was thinking, how bad is their intelligence? I had ridden that bus myself at the same hour of the night. That bus runs every night. There's a lot of misinformation about Iran, as return volunteers all know. Perhaps part of our job is to acquaint more people here about what Iran is really like.
I'm Doug Meyer. I was a volunteer in Iran 1967 through 68. I was posted initially to Semnan, which is located approximately 6 hours by train east of Tehran on the railroad to Mashhad. My first impression of Iran when I arrived was that it was hot, it was dusty, all the smells were strange and foreign, the sounds were unusual. I had been expecting different sounds, different language sounds. We had been trained for 3.5 months in Fresno, California, Fresno State, and I actually thought that I had a good command of the Farsi language until I got to Tehran. And at that time I discovered I had no idea what people were saying, nor could people understand what I was trying to tell them, nor could I read any of the signs. It was at that point that I had to suffer a bit of culture shock, along with a terrible jet lag because it's halfway around the world. And yes, those are my first impressions, and I'm glad that all occurred early in my experience, but because it was a humbling experience, and I'm glad it worked out that way.
My name is Cindy Anchild. My name when I was in the Peace Corps was Cindy Bethune. I was married to Bruce Bethune at that time. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Iran. The town that I was stationed in was Abadeh, which is between Isfahan and Shiraz in the Fars province. And I was a high school English teacher in a girls' high school. Well, that's another funny thing. You know, they use the floor like we use a couch, basically. And so they keep the floor immaculate because they're going to eat off of it. And so they never, you know, a good Iranian housewife cleans her whole floor 6 times a day. I mean, you're just like, it's always cleaning the floor. And so, you know, people have this idea that they're like different or dirtier or something because they put their food on tablecloth on the floor. It's just the opposite. They are incredibly clean, and you know, they think the way that we keep our floors are just disgusting, that we walk on them with shoes. And they're a very communal group, and so they think that the meanest thing you can do is send somebody to their room. And what they would always ask me was, how can your parents send you here without... They thought like we were delinquent or something, young delinquent adults, that our parents didn't want to be around us, that they had allowed us to come half around the world and not, you know, because they live in multi-generational families and they live together. And the idea that, you know, 1 child per room, they just think is like torture. They think that's like prison.